Hey guys, what is going on, guys? It's Frozen Van here, up with another commentary. And this is gonna be probably one of the most random ones, but I just decided to talk about it because a lot of people are talking about it, and I just feel like talking about it as well. And it is the gaming stereotype. So, if you may have not known, the gaming stereotype has been evolved. Honestly, like it's been evolved when it was back. It's completely different now than what it was before. Because, for example, before it was probably the most common. It was only like one typical stereotype, and then it's suddenly kept on evolving and kind of separated. So we have really different amounts of people who give lots of different gaming stereotypes. So I apologize for my I lost the words for a second, but I'm just tired and I just got up. So yeah, let's go over some of the gaming stereotypes that I find, and give you my like intake on what they are and how I think about them. So first, let's talk about the past gaming stereotype. This is basically the South Park rendition kind of thing. The fat guy who sits on a chair playing video games 24/7 in a chair with no friends, just playing computer games. And obviously, how I feel about that, I feel like that's completely false. I just don't think that that's true, because now the gaming world is just evolved into like many people, a variety of people play video games, not just and they also have a social life as well. Like meeting people over online, it gives you a more like it gives you another way to meet friends all over the world. So yeah, what I think about I'm just glad that that stereotype has changed. That it's not as common as it used to be, but now we have a lot more stereotypes. And before we go on to that, let's talk about my typical, like in my opinion, what is my gaming stereotype? What is the typical gamer for me? So for me, the typical gamer is a 20, late teen, 20, like 20 to 30 age, male or female, gamers who love playing varieties of video games, from first-person shooters to games to sports games to get like MOBAs and just a variety of games, and they just love to have fun. They're not too negative about what's going on within the game, but they just love enjoying playing games. And if they hate the game, they won't end up saying that it's like a piece of shit, and just like end up just like bashing the crap out of that game. They'll just say it's a bad game, don't play it. They'll just be really calm about it and not like talk shit about it like all the time. But yeah, that's my typical gamer. The typical gamer in my perspective, just a guy or a girl who loves playing video games. Just that's it. Next up, this is probably a controversial one: the squeakers. Now, I've wrote them as squeakers because they're probably that's the most common name, one of the most common names for this type of group. But these are the kids, I believe that they're aged around like 7 through 13, who play mature and violent rated content. And how I feel about this group is the fact that their parents need to know about what the content that their kids are playing. I understand that it might be because their friends are playing it, but I'm just saying that they need to monitor, that the parents really need to monitor what they're playing. Because if I get really confused of squeakers who play like GTA or Call of Duty Ghost. I met a lot of squeakers in Call of Duty Ghost lately, ever since I went back into that game. And honestly, I'm kind of wondering, like, why are you guys playing this game? You should be playing something else. Don't play this game yet. And I understand that the squeakers may have fun on it, but I'm just saying that like it just gets annoying. It's not annoying. It's just like kind of weird in a way how because back when I was a kid, I did not play these games. I was playing Pokemon and Pokemon. Pokemon was like the number one thing I was playing, and that was probably the number one thing back then. And yeah, so like I'm just really confused about like this group, and I'm just not sure why do they play these games. They should be like, I understand that the parents may not care, but I just think that these kids need to play some more, like, not like a bit less violent, and then once they know about what they're playing, then they can then that's when it makes sense for them to start playing, like, say GTA. because you can't really tell a 8-year-old kid about prostitution yet. But once they get older and they'll understand what it, and when they understand more, the parents can talk to them, and they'll start to understand why it's like highly controversial and stuff. So yeah, that's the Squeakers. Next up here is elitists. Now these guys are basically, I'll give you one example, the PC Master Race. These guys they think that what they play is superior to everything else. That what they believe in gaming is superior to everything else. Like take the PC Master Race for example. They think PC is the superior platform and nothing else should go with it. Nothing else should compete against it, and they just think that we're like the console peasants and stuff. And not just like platforms, like video games as well, like Battlefield elitists. These guys say that Battlefield is for true gamers, and they don't care about what they play. They don't care about Call of Duty. They don't care about everything, because everything sucks compared to Battlefield. And Battlefield is for the true gamers. It's the superior game. And I like to say, fuck you guys. Honestly, the elitists are really, I just hate them in general, because they don't. First of all, they don't do anything good for the community. They just add another stereotype to the community, and just end up like not making it enjoyable for people to play. So. Like for example, I really don't enjoy how they don't appreciate your preferred platform or game. Like for example, I like playing Call of Duty more than Battlefield. That's just me. Even though I'm playing more hardline than Advanced Warfare, I just still like Call of Duty more than Battlefield. And I'm not bashing against these guys. Like I'm not saying Battlefield sucks. I'm not saying Call of Duty sucks either, and I'm not even saying Call of Duty is the best game ever. I'm just saying that I prefer this game better than Battlefield, and these elitists just can't take an opinion seriously and take it into consideration. But it just gets really annoying, and I just hate these guys. And I just feel like just because that you play on a $1,000 PC that runs at 60 FPS, no, 200 FPS, ultra settings, doesn't mean anything to me. It just doesn't. You need to understand that opinion matters to most of the gamers, and the reason why consoles are there, because it's like an alternative for people who can't afford these highly gaming PCs. And I understand Steam boxes are coming, but if you think about it, PCs are still a lot more accessible as of right now. They're not PCs. Consoles are still a lot more accessible. So yeah, I just hate these guys. Honestly, they really need to understand people's opinions and thoughts. Next up, pros, professional gamers. Now these are the guys who are in the competitive scene. Take Scara from the LCS, Nadeshot from MLG, and just anybody else in general, like the CS:GO scene. Now these guys are most of them at least are very respectable. Like you can hang out with these guys, and they're like normal people. They don't bash about anything. They just practice and practice because it's like their job. Honestly, video games are their job. Their job is to compete and win money and stuff. And when they're not really competing, they are respectable, and they don't end up. They're not elitist and say that their game is better. They're just respectable young gentlemen, and they kind of like my personal opinion on gamers. Like they're just the guys who play who play video games, but this time they play one specific game because it's for the competitive scene. Next up is females. Now this is probably the most controversial stereotype of a gamer, but let's just go into it. So, female gamers, they come in two kind of groups. I would categorize. One's the nerds, the people who think that they're nerds who play a crap ton, and just the hot chicks. And I'm like, why are you so attracted to these young women who love playing video games? They just want to play video games. Honestly, like I don't understand that. But personally, I love playing with female gamers. I'm not saying that it's not like in a sexual way or anything, but I'm just saying that I like playing them because they're just another kind of group to play with other than the typical gamer. And they're pretty cool. Most of them are pretty chill as well, unless you go with a rager, a hot chick rager. a quote unquote hot chick. Honestly, I just feel bad for this group because if you think about it, Call of Duty. If you think about like if you know all these you know how I feel with these when if you play Call of Duty, you know, like in Search and Destroy, if a girl gamer goes into a lobby full of men, full of like male gamers, the entire lobby just focuses on that girl gamer. Like it's not, I'm not kidding. Every game I play, if there's a girl gamer, everybody just talks to her, and it just gets annoying. I'm like, she's just she's just another gamer. Don't worry about her. Don't try to hit up on her. Honestly, it's just not gonna work out for you because first of all, you don't know where the hell she lives. Second of all, you don't know how she looks like unless she's really nice and gives you her Instagram or something like that. But other than that, she's just another typical gamer. Don't flirt with them because it's not gonna take you anywhere unless you get like a really good relationship together. But that's like a really small chance that you'll ever get that gamer that I'll get hooked up with a girl gamer online, that is. And the last stereotype I want to cover is probably one of the most controversial, is the most controversial in my opinion, in not just the gaming world but just the modern world, and that is how the news and the press thinks of gamers. Now, if you think about it, video games to them are the bane of our existence. Now, basically what I'm trying to tell you is that according to them, violent video games causes like massacres, murders, and stuff. And I would say that that's bullshit. There's no way in hell. Just because you're playing a video game doesn't give you an incentive to kill people. Now, I understand there are some exceptions. Like there are some psychopaths who play like take one from I forgot his name. He played Modern Warfare 2, and he said it was good training to start like a terrorist or bomb attack, I believe. But going back to the main top, like my opinion, I just say that violent video games, sure, I mean like they're violent, but that doesn't give us any incentive to kill people. They're just fun, in my opinion. Just having the, like for example here, and you can see that I absolutely suck at sniping Battlefield. Don't comment me on that, but just getting a kill with a sniper in Battlefield is just so rewarding. And this game is violent according to the ESRB. And it's not making me violent. It's not making me want to become a sniper. I'm not going to be going out into the Navy just because I played a video game. I'm not going to be armored just because I play Call of Duty. I'm just a typical gamer. I just love playing video games, and and I'm pretty sure the majority of the people agree to this as well. Like video games don't give anybody incentive, and I can't think of a better word than this. But people don't become violent because of video games. There has to be something else, because video games are just another type of entertainment, and the modern world just doesn't want to accept that yet. And that's where the stereotype just comes in place at the worst. It's just the fact that that gamers are just doing absolutely nothing. And if you think about the news, that it's just really boring, and just what ends up happening is that we are just being bashed about every little single thing that happens to that happens to the world. Like for example, if anything is tied to video games, if any like tragic thing is tied to video games, it's usually always put the blame on that, and it really pisses me off. And I'm like, yo, it's not gonna make us angry or stuff, but yeah, I just think that that's bullshit. But anyway, guys, that's it for this video. And I know there's a lot more stereotypes, but I can't cover them all. I can't cover them all. But yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed. These are just some stereotypes and my opinions on them. But anyway, guys, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys later. Peace. And the last stereotype I want to cover is probably one of the most controversial, is the most controversial in my opinion, in not just the gaming world but just the modern world, and that is how the news and the press thinks of gamers. Now, if you think about it,